Views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond, got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality, who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be, who I am is fine with me. It's who I am, it's who I am, who I am is fine with me.
Here we go. Hi everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. It's Tuesday night, June 30th, Tuesday. Tuesday is our night. This is our time slot, 9 p.m. We come through Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. How do you listen to us? You get your TuneIn app on your phone or your iPad, and you type in Armed Radio. And between the hour of 9 and 10, you will find What's the Story with Maria. So if you want to do it that way, you can, or you could stream us live on armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. Also, we are on Facebook Live, so you can catch us on Facebook Live, which is great. I always, while we're broadcasting live on the radio, which is our main thing, we also go through the Radio Garden, which is out of Boston. So there's lots of ways to listen to our show. I actually love the podcast as well, which it's kind of like my favorite thing. After the show is over, you can hear our show on Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. Jim Bell, I'd like to thank Jim Bell. He is our producer and engineer, and he takes care of all of that. Make sure that we go live, make sure that our show gets saved and goes into podcasts, and I can't thank Jim Bell enough. I would be lost without him. So thank you, Jimmy. Okay, so let me see. Let me check with our people. We got a bunch of people already. Robert Portis, who is Lynn Portis' little brother, who I love. You might be my favorite of the siblings. I'm just saying, Robert. So Robert Portis has checked in. Karen Keene from Massachusetts has checked in. How are you doing, Karen? I follow you on Facebook and your wonderful son. I want to thank your son for his service. I believe he is an EMT, and he spent quite a number of weeks in New York helping us out when we were really buried under all that COVID stress. So I want to thank that guy. And maybe one of these days we'll have him call in. So I think his name is Robbie, right? Okay, Lynn Portis. Oh my goodness, I was just talking about the Portises. Robert just checked in. I said he is my favorite Portis of your siblings. Lynn is, of course, my number one favorite. Lynn Portis, genius! And Robert, you are my favorite of the siblings. Driving home from New Hampshire, fantastic. Jim Bell is in New Hampshire, so Lynn is leaving Jim Bell territory to come back to New York. Kate Greer, hi Kate Greer, how are you, sweetheart? And let me see, we have Jay Rivera has checked in, Catherine Salvio has checked in, hello. Paul Bruno has checked in, Jay Rivera, holy moly, the stars are out tonight. Okay, so calling in tonight, I have the wonderful Peter Ianello. I can't wait, he's going to call in at about 9:10, 9:12-ish, around there. And then Sue Matsuki is going to call in around 9:35-ish. So we have two wonderful people. All my guests are wonderful, and they're all special in different ways. And these two are very special, grounded, warm-hearted, hardworking. If I were to find the common denominator, I would say very hardworking people. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what do hardworking people do in these times, and how do we get back there, getting everything moving again safely and soundly and creatively. And I have called this show Continuing to Flourish. So, because that's what we do. We work hard and we flourish. So, what I want to talk about this morning, my sweet buddy, Leo Rodriguez, who I don't see yet, but he'll pop on soon. He was a little sad. He was making the promo, and he said that he was really sad. And he mentioned Carl Reiner, which I was half asleep, so I didn't even put two and two together. And then as the day went on, something's wrong with my TV, so I didn't even turn on the TV today. I realized when I looked at Facebook that hi, Rena Crignali-Bergi, my cousin in Massachusetts, and Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us. Oh my God, it's a calamity of coolness out there. You know I love my alliterations. Anyway, so when Leo said he was really sad about Carl Reiner, I didn't realize that Carl Reiner had passed away today. So there he is. Oh my God, Leo Rodriguez, who is amazing, makes all our Facebook promos, and now is also taking care of my website. Thank you so much to Billy Malcolm, who designed my website, and Leo is popping things on there now. So thank you to those two gentlemen who keep the engines running in my life and in my social media. So Carl Reiner, Leo, I didn't realize today when you said it that he had passed away today. Then I got so sad. You know, as comedians, and there's a lot of us out there. I mean, we're singers, we're a lot of different things. But when you are a funny kid and somebody notices you're a funny kid, it's like the most amazing thing. When someone laughs at something you say, I don't care if you're two, there's a reaction that happens in your heart and in your mind that you never forget. And it's an addiction. You get addicted to that reaction. And where do we learn? I mean, my age group, and and then because of reruns, lots of people got to watch these amazing shows over and over, and that's where a lot of us got our comic timing. So I want to shout out Carl Reiner, who started off with our show of shows with Sid Caesar, and I was just watching a little clip, and he said that's where he learned most of his timing, and then he wrote. He just started realizing he was just going to be an actor, but he was a really funny writer. So he started writing. His family said, you should write, and so he did. And so the Dick Van Dyke Show was his next adventure, although he wrote one in between there that didn't do so well, but they took the format of it and put Dick Van Dyke in the lead role, and then Carl Reiner was the boss, I believe, and then it just took off. So, I was thinking about how successful people have to be adjustable. Like someone else might have said, no, I want my own show, I want to be the star of my show, I'm writing it myself. If you don't want it, that's it. You've lost me. But he was smart enough to know, and realistic enough to know, and creative enough to know that sometimes you got to adjust things. And look at how successful the Dick Van Dyke Show was. And Dick Van Dyke said that everything he learned as a comic actor, he learned on that show from being around amazing people like that. And I mean, if you folks have never seen the Dick Van Dyke Show and you're younger people, I'm sure it's on Nick at Night, or you can YouTube it or anything like that. Do yourself a favor and go and watch anything that Carl Reiner has done. Here's Peter Ianello calling in. Hello, Peter Ianello.
Hello, Maria Gentili.
How are you, my handsome friend?
I am so well. How are you doing?
I'm good, honey. I always put you under that very, very handsome, hunky category. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but you are...
I don't think you did.
No, but I'm telling you now. That's
lovely to hear. I'm happy you're doing that.
Yes.
It makes me feel really good.
Well, listen, I was just talking about Carl Reiner and how Carl Reiner was someone that adjusted. He was so great at what he did, but he was, was always having to adjust. And because he adjusted, he was even more successful. And he went on to and he just knew what a talent, right? And
unbelievable.
Mutual friend of ours. Now, when you were on my show, I realized that you worked in education in a really amazing capacity, and then I started realizing you were cooking. I was like, this guy does everything. Now, tell everybody your latest adventure, Peter Ianello.
So, just before the pandemic, wonderful restaurant in Congress, New York called Rick's Club American. It's been here for 40 years, and we have been coming here probably for about, I'd say, 20 years, and in the last 7 or 8 years, probably 3 or 4 times a week after work, just to, grab a drink or grab a bite to eat. We really kind of became like a family over here. It was amazing friendships that we built, and you depended on coming here to have a burger or a sandwich or, bread, whatever you wanted. And we had realized at one point that the place was maybe for sale. So we inquired, and they had it off the market for a while, and then we had these conversations, and we went through a very long period of approvals and disapprovals from the banks, and negotiating with the former owners, who were wonderful. And but it took us almost 2 years from the day we started talking, maybe a year and a half, for us to finally close the deal.
Wow, that's a long time.
We were supposed. It is a long time, and we were supposed to close last September, and it didn't happen. And then we thought we were going to finalize the deal in November, and that didn't happen. Then we said, well, Christmas is coming, so it'll be after Christmas. And then we thought January, and that didn't happen. And finally, in early February, we get this date of March 6th. So Friday, March 6th, we go to the lawyer's office. We're all excited. There are 3 of us, my partner Nick, and another friend of ours, Anthony. And the 3 of us go, and we sign all the papers, and we leave there, and we're all excited. And then March 16th, we have to close.
10 days after you acquired the restaurant.
Days. Yes.
Unbelievable.
10 days. So the restaurant has four large rooms, and it seats about 150 altogether, and they have a nice long bar. It's very, very, very beautiful. But we spent probably like 2 weeks just thinking, oh my God, how are we going to get through this?
Right.
What are we going to do? Because, we just took on a big mortgage, and we had bills to pay, and we had a staff, and, we didn't know what we were going to do. So, but it was very traumatizing for that.
I can imagine. I mean, was there any point in time where you thought, I can't do this. I'm just going to throw in the towel?
Think, so Nick also is myself, because we weren't here every day. He was here.
Right.
So he was at, thinking at night things like, how are we going to do this? I can't sleep, and he was restless night. But I will say that the community around here, and the community is like the Nyack, West Nyack, City, Congers, and Rockland County. They really, really rallied around us, and they, to-go orders were just, flying out the doors.
How great is that?
It was fantastic. I mean, we really mastered to-go. I mean, we always did to-goes here, but it was all we were doing. So we set up a procedure, and we had curbside pickup, and we have a big parking. It's just great. Some nights we were doing, 40 to 50 dinners. Other nights we were doing, 80 to 90.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, there were some nights that were, clearly not as good. And, the other thing, too, is that we were able to have alcohol to go.
Oh, I think that's made a big difference in New York, because that was never illegal, but they did change, Cuomo did change that so that businesses could stay afloat, and I think that's a great idea.
People bought bottles of wine. They were buying. We were selling pitchers of margaritas, pitchers of sangria.
I love it.
Any drinks you wanted us to make. Somebody actually, the first week we were open, said, I really would like a drink, but I don't know what I want. And I said, well, what are you in the mood for? She said, I really want something sweet. And then she said, how about a slow gin fizz?
Oh, my God.
I said, well, I haven't made one in 30 years, but I certainly know how to make one. So let me do that. So I made her a slow gin fizz, and she was able to take it home. And, and then we did delivery, too. We started to do deliveries because we figured, we had one of our kids who works for us come in, and he was running around all the 5 towns around here and doing deliveries.
Unbelievable.
So, and it was really, I have to say, I'm so grateful to the community for really supporting us during that time. It was really just amazing. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, we went into phase 2, which was we were allowed outdoor dining. Yeah, which is, I saw it, and you were also on the news, right? Yes. I saw Nick on the news. That was so great. Tell everybody about that. So we went into phase 2 on one Tuesday, which was outdoor dining, and then we went into phase 3, which was indoor dining at 50% last a week ago today. And so we had been working closely with the county on making sure that we were following all the guidelines for reopening. And so I think the news came up. Sarah Wallace from Channel 4 had spoken to the county supervisor, and somebody said, you should really go over to Rick's Club American because they have a really great story to tell. They just bought the place,
Wow.
and all of a sudden they had to close down. So it was really something. I mean, we have two parking lots, one smaller one and one larger one, and we turned the smaller parking lot into outdoor dining.
I love it.
So,
I love it. And you
yeah,
have the little
it's
canopies,
wonderful.
right? You have like a little canopies?
Yeah, we have umbrellas, we have some tents, and we're right across the way from the lake. You can't always see everything from where you're sitting in the parking lot, but, and people are so grateful to be outside.
Oh, yeah.
They're just happy to be out and happy to be eating out and dining out, having a drink. And, I said to somebody at one table we're seating, it's the only table I have is over in the corner by the truck. And she said, I don't care if you sit me on the floor. I just want to be outside. I don't want to enjoy my meal. So,
Do you
it's been
find,
exciting,
Peter, that people are much more laid back about things that normally, sometimes restaurant goers can be a little bit, high maintenance. But go ahead.
I think that's a good point. I think people are. But they're not high maintenance. I mean, they're very patient. Every once in a while, we run into we're really busy, so things might take a little longer than they normally would take.
Right.
But people are just very patient, very happy, very thrilled to be out, enjoying the outdoors, the indoors. Most people are still staying outdoors. They're not coming in. We have some. Yesterday we were busy, and Sunday we were busy inside, and Saturday. But most of these people are if they sit out and it's nice evening, they're going to do that.
Well, I think that also people are taking advantage of the summer. We've gone through a long winter and all this crazy. And I think people are so excited to be outdoors, longer maybe. So people are going to take advantage of that.
It's amazing how I think people are they're just so happy to be out that they don't care where they sit, they don't care how long it takes, they just want to relax and enjoy, being away, out of their house and not having, get a to-go order or not having to cook and, getting back to some semblance of normalcy again,
Yep, and I got to tell you, Leo Rodriguez just posted the link to your website, and so people can find it. And
thank you.
Richard Skipper wrote, Rick's Club American is one of my favorite restaurants. So
I love that Richard Skipper. He's so good.
Oh, isn't he adorable? He's great.
And I have to say that I'm so thrilled. Joe Gullah and I are very close friends.
I know. I love Joe.
And Joe's come up twice with his mom and his friend Michael. And last week, Ricky Ritzel was here.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw that.
Ricky with Ted Baus and Edie Scott. They were here, and when we first started, the first weekend, Billy Huebner was here, and he actually came with his family because his dad lives somewhere in New Jersey and his brother's in Connecticut. This was sort of central for all of them. And
who was that?
Billy Huebner.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
And the funny thing was that he kept coming back, and one day he called and he said, I'm doing a to-go run in Manhattan. We're coming to Rick's, and then I'm going to go down and deliver all through Manhattan.
Wow.
So he came up, and everybody called in their orders, and he just picked everything up, and he went down. So the cabaret, community and friends that I've had for years who I adore have been very supportive too, and that's been really, really nice.
That's amazing.
Really
well, I'm going to come up soon, in the next few weeks. I'm definitely going to.
All right, good.
Now, I wanted to ask you: do people need reservations?
So normally, I would say no. I mean, if it's a nice day, we have plenty of space. But lately, because we have limited space in terms of inside and outside, the weekends we're asking people to at least reserve want.
Yeah.
We haven't run into trouble yet. We have a pretty good turnover, and as I said, inside we probably have 20 tables right now that are active, and we have 20 outside.
Okay,
and,
great.
we also have a long bar. So yeah, it's always good to call for a reservation, especially if you're more than 5 people.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure that you have that that table for you.
Yeah. And I will. Do you have the number that we'll post it anyway? But we will post it.
I can give you the number. Is easy. It's 845-268-8787.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
we will post that as well, so people can call and make reservations. And now, Peter, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also know that you're an amazing cook because you used to make those Easter pies and all those clams and all that stuff. So you've always been a great cook. Do you have more say in the kitchen, or is it pretty much the three of you?
I will tell you that our chef has been here for quite some time, and he is absolutely amazing. And we've given him really carte blanche to run his kitchen the way he wants to.
Isn't that wonderful?
And every week he comes up to us, and this is he'll give us a list of what he wants to do for specials. And the regular food is amazing too, but his specials this week I think he has 7 or 8 different appetizers as specials, and then he has everything running from a molasses rub steak, ribeye steak.
Oh my God, that sounds great.
Clams pasolipo with spaghetti, an Asian spicy salmon burger, some great salads. You can always add grilled shrimp or grilled chicken or salmon or steak to them. But he's just amazing. He's doing this week. He's also doing a roasted Amish chicken.
Wow,
which is amazing. So he's really fantastic, and we've talked a little about what I wanted and what Nick wanted and Anthony wanted, to add to the menu. And so, he every week he comes up with something different. If I say, can you do something like, steak something, all of a sudden he'll come up with it, and everything is great. He loves it. So he's enjoying himself, and I think he's got a good staff in the kitchen. And
well, you let good people do what they do. I think that's the key to managing or owning anything. If you have great employees and they know what they're doing, let them do what they do.
Yeah, and we've said that to him even beforehand, because honestly, part of the deal in us buying the place was only if he would stay.
Wow.
Because if we were the place and he was going, then there was no sense. We weren't going to start from scratch. And we weren't going to start a new restaurant from scratch either. The place has been established for 40 years, and we wanted to continue the wonderful traditions that exist here, but also we wanted to give it a little upgrade in terms of the food and giving more. So we still have the regular menu, the way it's been for a long time, and all the regular staples that we have. So we have chicken and ribs, and we have steak sandwiches, and on garlic bread, and chicken teriyaki sandwiches, and great burgers, and
that sounds amazing.
A bunch of other entrees. Yeah, I mean it's really just wonderful. So we kept that menu going, and then our special menu is usually between appetizers and dinner specials. I would say probably between 10 to 14 items a week.
Wow.
And they change every Friday is a new series of specials. And we're just absolutely thrilled. I mean, we're absolutely thrilled, and it's a great venture for us. And at some point, I can't wait till you come, because it's just
I've been dying to get up there, and I really want to. I really, really, really want to get up there, and it's going to happen like in the next 2 weeks, because I can't wait much longer. And I just wanted to get you on the show first, so you could talk about it and tell everybody, what's happening. So Leo has posted the number as well. So for our radio listeners, it's 845-268-8787. Call and make reservations. That helps. I've always found when I've worked in restaurants, it always helps when people call for reservations. Thank you, Leo, for doing that.
It absolutely does. And again, and our hours are basically 12 o'clock every day. We're open for lunch, and we close during the week at 10, and on the weekends, usually kitchen closes around 11.
Wow,
So,
that's a great stretch.
Yeah, long days, and again, and if it's really pretty out and nice out, and it's not so humid, that the outdoor seating is wonderful. We're actually, it's interesting because we turned, as I said, we turned our smaller parking lot into an outdoor dining, and all we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks now is how are we going to fix up the parking lot, because we're actually going to convert that to outdoor dining for next summer.
Wow.
Yeah, we just made that decision because we felt that at least
what a great
people
idea.
are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're enjoying it, and you know
why
what?
not do it?
It gives you that option. If there are people that are still, even by next summer, hopefully we'll all be on our feet, but maybe people are still leery, and good, it gives them the option of that. I think it's wonderful.
And every Wednesday, once we get back to regular operations and we're open 100%, which I hope, we resume Wednesday night trivia. So we have trivia. I think it starts at 7.
Okay.
And it's really great. We give away gift cards to the.
Wow.
Get the gift card. Second prize gets to spin our little wheel in the bar area. So we have a lot of things going over there. A lot of new ideas coming out. But obviously, the whole pandemic sort of stifled everything we wanted to do quickly. So now we're back to, I think, at least getting back on track and figuring it all out, and hoping that this is going to be a week over soon. So
yeah, look in New York, we're doing all the right things we should do, and we're on track for success.
Yeah.
So Peter, I want to thank you for calling in. We're going to keep your information up, and people can check. Please go to the website, please, and go in and check on Peter, and please get to Rick's American Cafe. Thank you, Peter Ianello. I love you so much. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait for the future.
Thank you, Maria. Love you.
Love you too, honey.
Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you.
Bye, baby. Love you too. Wow, can you imagine? Oh my God, that's like crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now I know that's so people are writing in. Let me see. I have Ed Logan. Hi, Ed. How are you, honey? Catherine wrote, I think Al Pacino lives up that way, or goes. Let me see. This is moving around. So, Colette Zito, love Peter. Great that you have him. Yes, Peter is just an incredible human being, solid as a rock, salt of the earth, wonderful. I wish Peter nothing but success. But the reason is not just because he's good at what he does, no matter what he does. It's because he is such a beautiful guy. And so everybody, please get there. Get a group together. If you don't want to be around a lot of people, okay, I understand that. Get your honey, get your whoever. Let's get up there and let's support Peter and his crew, okay? So let me see. Richard Skipper lives near there and he loves it. I'm so glad, Richard. That's great. Richard said that Al Pacino is his neighbor. And Catherine said Al Pacino lives up there. She is cousins with Al, so she knows. Great. Now let me see what else is happening. Okay. So I just don't want to miss if anybody wrote anything. Oh, thank you, Ed Logan. You're so cute. Yeah, I think you're in Massachusetts now. Ed, we might have to have you call in and give us an update on your wonderful dog products, because they were on the show, The Dog Fathers. That was such a great show. So maybe time for an update. We'll have to talk in a few weeks. Okay, so who do I have calling in next? The beautiful and talented and super, super smart Matsuki, and she will be calling in a couple minutes. So I'm going to go back to talking about Carl Reiner, who actually Leo could probably do it much better. We're all fans. And if you're a young person that doesn't know what Carl Reiner has done, you've seen stuff Carl Reiner has done. You just don't know it was him. So he's also Rob Reiner's dad. And Rob Reiner played Meathead on All in the Family. Hysterical. But so the Dick Van Dyke Show, then he got this passion for directing. Writing a lot anyway, and he wrote directed Oh God with George, I just went blank. I'll think of it in a minute. And The Jerk with Steve Martin. George Burns, thank you. How could I go blank on that? Oh my God, it was such a beautiful movie. If you've never seen Oh God, place in the best way. And The Jerk is hysterical. Ocean's 11, he was the big cheese in Ocean's 11. So I'm sure you've seen that. A lot of the younger people have seen Ocean's 11. Carl Reiner. So he lived a long, productive, incredible life. And we should all be that. We should all be inspired by someone that lives that way. So when life throws you curveballs, or you think you're going to do one thing, but you end up doing it. Always be open. I think that the moral of the story so far tonight has been always be open, and continue to flourish. Continue to flourish. Even flowers grow in different ways. Even though it might be the same plant every year, but it comes back and it looks different, doesn't it? And sometimes there's more rain and sometimes there's more sunshine, but that plant still keeps growing. You have to water it. You have to take care of things, but don't give up. Just keep it going. Okay, so we have a lot of great people on, and Sue's going to call in any minute. So Sue, go ahead, and thank you, Leo, for posting that, Carl Reiner. And look, now a lot of us have a little more time on our hands, and we can go back and watch a lot of these great shows. And look, to me, they're like master classes. They really are. Now is the time to not just watch, if you're in the entertainment business, not just watch shows for entertainment purposes, but watch them to learn as master classes. Here is Sue Matsuki. Sue, my love, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Perfectly. You're perfect. Absolutely. I don't even have to tell you to raise your... It's perfect. How are you, my love?
I'm great. So what's the story with Maria, baby?
Thank you for asking, Sue. What's the story with Maria? Listen, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to showcase all these amazing people. I mean, the show's almost 3 years. I think in 3 shows I will have been on live on the radio and Facebook for 3 years, but I'm trying to let everybody know about the great stuff that's happening. And as you know, because you are an entertainer, you're a reviewer, a little bit, haven't we?
Oh, yes, a whole different paradigm of performance and communication, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But I have named the show tonight Continuing to Flourish, because, I got that email from you yesterday, I think, and I was seeing that you were keeping up with all the things that are happening, for Cabaret Hotspot and all, just for your pages and I thought, wow, that's like great. Like, she's asking how we're doing, and I was so happy about that. I'm like, this is great. People aren't just throwing in the towel. They're changing with the times. So tell me how this has affected what you do and how have you changed? How have you changed this?
Yeah. The Cabaret Hotspot, I mean, when we were not able to do shows and put them up as spotlights, I had to think outside of the box. And David and I are also in the process of, promoting our book, which just got published. So
yes.
It's out now.
I was going to get to that, but why don't you go straight for that? Tell everybody about the wonderful book that you and David have written.
Well, it's called So You Want to Sing Cabaret, and it's the 20th book in the 20-book series called So You Want to Sing Family, published by Roman and Littlefield. And it's So You Want to Sing Jazz, So You Want to Sing Blues, So You Want to Sing Contemporary Music, and we're the last ones because cabaret wasn't really that known of a genre.
Right.
So it approached David, and I was contributing some chapters, and David finally went to the publishers and said, hey, she's written half the book, make her a co-author, which I have never had that happen in my life with anybody, particularly a man. So I was really, really honored to be part of that. So the book is now in print. It can be ordered on Amazon. It can be ordered at Cabaret Hotspots. There's a max discount if you order on Cabaret Hotspots. So with all that going on, trying to get the book done, and we did an amazing video that's going to, it's actually the book release show video. And all the people that are interviewed in the book, Andrea Marcovici, Katie Sullivan, Natalie Douglas, Karen Mason, Sidney Meyer, all these people are featured in this video.
Wow.
Friday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And so that's all with the book. But with all that happening, Cabaret Hotspot, we didn't have anything to review. So I said to David, I'm just going to become a TV guide for what's going on. So I just started trolling Facebook and trolling sites and finding out who was doing these shows like yourself. You've been on our program since the beginning of, I think I started doing it in March, right after the Bistro Awards. I started doing these listings.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, but it's really basically for all of us to know what the hell's going on and where we can see our friends and how things are going on. Some shows are really awesome, though. The way people have been using, Jim Coos is using StreamYard, and a lot of people are using Zoom, and a lot of people are figuring out how to sing in sync with people. So there's a lot of good work out there. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been challenging as a singer to figure all these things out. But
yeah, that really has. I think for me, my show, I've always done it the same way because it's a radio show, and it does go live on the radio, which we are now, and so I just happen to Facebook Live it. So I've always done that for 3 years. But so I've stayed with the format I have because I'm the only one here now because nobody can be here. So there's no way to. But I really, everybody's doing something different, and I really appreciate it. Now, Leo, who's our assistant, he's all the way out in California, but he's posted Cabaret Hotspot's website. He has also posted the link for your book. So,
fantastic. Thank you so much. That's sweet.
Yeah, he's great. Leo's great. And so, folks, there it is. The Cabaret Hotspots is right there. Sue and David's book. And what is David's last name so people can...
David Sabella. David is, he played the first Mary Sunshine in the first production on Broadway of Chicago. Chicago.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm getting... Anyway.
Probably in the 90s,
And he's one of the most sought-after vocal coaches in the business, so he's an amazing man, just an amazing man. So so it's been challenging,
It has, and there's, but what I was telling people that, it's happened to me, like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I finally have a little bit of time to actually do these things that I always did want to do, like read and catch up. And maybe teach a class online, and become a student again myself. So I find that there's a reason for this for all of us to expand and things like that. What would you say for you has been the thing that you've enjoyed the most?
Well, time with my husband. We've always gotten along, and we've always been really good friends, but this has been just so great. I run around a lot. I'm producing, I'm singing, I'm doing shows, and my husband's got really into this whole cabaret scene, so I've had so much more time with him. Cooking, I know you like to cook too,
I love it.
Cooking's kind of like my decompression at the end of the day.
Me too. Doing
interviews, I just love to cook. But the biggest gift, honestly, is I'm the queen of procrastination, and this whole concept of, well, there's always tomorrow, I thought was going to really work against me. But what it's made me do is I allow myself, rather than have 15 pots with my hands in each of them, I allow myself to focus on one thing, get it done, and then I move on. So it's not a matter of procrastination, it's a matter of prioritizing. And that's been, I've always been an organizer and everything, and I can't function with my hands in 15 pots, but it's so much more productive to just take a breath, get something done. So I've created a whole YouTube presence, which I've never had, which I'm going to launch soon. I've updated my website. I've decided how I'm going to produce going forward. I learned a lot about all this internet MIDI and how to sing with my pianist playing in one place and me singing in another. I volunteered to appear in open mics so that I can challenge myself every time I do one to just up my bar a little bit on production value. And so it's been huge for me in terms of learning stuff. I was always afraid of computer stuff. I'm not a techie person.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Me too. I'm old. I don't know about these things. But it's amazing. Yeah,
just a different angle. I when you were talking about the working with musical directors and from, through computers, I find that very challenging. But it's amazing when you do learn little tricks.
Right.
Right.
And there's some things cost a lot of money to do and some things don't. And if you look at Marissa Mulder, Marissa, for some reason, can sing with her musical directors, and they have this real nice synchronistic way of presenting something, whereas other people, there's ins and outs, and there's choppiness, and there's, like that foreign movie thing where the lips are moving and it's not in sync with the music.
Yes.
And Internet MIDI is this program that was developed for piano teachers to teach other pianist players. But the owner, George, is working with David Sabella to fine-tune it for singers so that we can work on the latency issue.
That's
so
amazing.
In other words, Gregory has a MIDI piano and I have the MIDI software, so Gregory plays his piano and I can see the keys moving on my screen, and I can adjust the latency to coincide with the Wi-Fi issues in the moment, and we can pretty much rehearse like we would in a studio. It's pretty awesome.
That's incredible. Actually, it's funny. A lot of people like us have done so many, like they have learned new things, and they've been writing. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I've been writing so much more than I normally write because I have time. It's like you said, you can focus on one thing, And
you come up with any new songs that you can give me so I can debut when we get out of this mess?
As a matter of fact, I co-wrote a beautiful song that you will love with my musical director and best friend Lynn Portis, and we also I took some pictures as well and made a video. Leo actually made the video. I will send it to you in Facebook Messenger. You will love it. You will love it.
Every time I think of, there's two songs I always think of as we're going through all this ugliness and social unrest and, political unrest. I always think of We Can Be Kind, David Friedman's We Can Be
Yes.
Kind, and your song, Kindness Makes Me Cry.
Oh, thank you, Sue. What a compliment. Thank you.
So many acts of kindness have really welled me up when everyone's getting ugly. There's this little teeny act of kindness that just makes me appreciate things more, and I always think of your song.
Well, thank you, honey. You're going to like this new one. It's called Hiding in a Ghost Town. And it's about what we went through in the beginning with the pandemic, and how New York went from being this mecca to a ghost town, and what that feels like, from our point of view. So I think you'll really like it. I'll send it to you. Yeah, Leo, if you want to post that, you can post that too, but I will definitely send it to you. So now let's remind people they can get the book, So You Want to Sing Cabaret.
Correct.
And
on Amazon.com and or on www.cabaretHotspot.com.
Okay.
And if anyone out there has a show that they're doing on a weekly basis or one-off shows that they want publicized, just send an email to Matsuki@AOL.com, because I'm a dinosaur and I still have AOL.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, I can't change it. It's on all my materials.
I know. I'm with you, honey. I got you.
But, if you have something, if anyone out there has something that they promote, just shoot it to me or contact me through Cabaret Hotspot. And I just spotlighted songwriters a couple weeks ago. I spotlighted photographers. I spotlighted special videos, which I can put your video up one of these weeks that you're going to send me.
Yeah.
And I think next week I'm going to spotlight the radio people, so you'll be that one as well.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Audience know what's out there and what they can tune into.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you. You've always been so supportive of anything I've done, and I have not forgotten that. Thank you so much.
I adore you. I always have. I don't see you as much as I'd like to, and everything closed now. Lester's closed.
I know, but we will be back, and we'll be back in different ways, and it's going to be safer and better. And thank you so much for thinking of me, and thank you for everything that you're doing, Sue, for keeping everything alive so that we can stay connected. We need people like you to stay connected.
You too. So I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for having me on.
You got it, sweetheart. I'll talk to you real soon, okay? Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, honey. Matsuki, what a sweetheart, and super, super, super smart. And so talented. Oh my God, if you hear her sing, you should actually look it up. Everybody should look it up. Okay, so I want to say hello to a few people that have popped on. I saw my sweetheart, Eudania Mesa. Hi, honey bunny. Are you making eyes at me, Poopa? Very, very, very cute. Lynn Portis is here. Hello, Linny. I'm going to send Sue our song. Jay Rivera, and he says he loves Friend of Mine the best. Well, it's funny, Jay. I can always tell a little bit about somebody by the song they choose that they like of mine. And that song is riddled with angst. So I love that you love that song. I love that you love that. Okay, so now we have to, it is an emergency. We must do the section of our show called, go ahead, keep eating. Because you know on What's the Story with Maria, we always have food. I cook for every single show. How can I expect my creative guests to be on their toes if I do not challenge myself creatively? So now, I have been on the keto diet again because I gained 18 pounds during lockdown. Yes, I did. But I don't go by weight. I go by can I fit into my pants. So I couldn't fit into my pants much anymore, so I had to go on the keto. I've been on it for about 2 weeks. So I'm doing good. Now, let me show you what I made that are trying to be on it. So you have to keep your carbs low, right? So what I made was some pulled chicken. So let me read, because I always have to, I forget what I put in there, but so I write it as I'm going, because I create as I go. So I made pulled chicken. I cooked it with white wine, garlic powder, caramelized white onions, and then I have these great things called smoky okies. What they are is literally, they're from Scotland, and Liz Goldenberg sent them to me originally. What they are is literally pieces of smoked oak that have been crushed up, and they're like in this little jar, and so you throw them in with that, and it just smolders and creates almost like you're out barbecuing something. It's like incredible. Smoky okies. So I put some smoky okies in there. Ketchup with truffle oil. Where did I find that? Trader Joe's, my favorite store. It's actually ketchup from Italy, so it's mostly like a tomato base with truffle oil. Can you believe this? So that is in there, and then chili and lime. So those are the things I put that. And now, now you're going to die, because this looks like a sandwich, right? But on keto, everybody knows you can't have a sandwich. We can have bread. But guess what? Also Trader Joe's. These are called cauliflower thins. Judy turned me on to them. So what they are is they're cauliflower packs, and they're super thin. You pop them in the toaster, and you can use them like bread. So they're bread substitute, and they taste so good you cannot imagine. So what I've put in there, I got some Boston lettuce, I have some sliced plum tomatoes, and you got a cauliflower thin sandwich with pulled chicken. Off the chain. Okay, now for my salad, since it's like a little summer thing going on there, I made coleslaw from scratch. You know I love my coleslaw. So I have shredded red cabbage and shredded white cabbage in there. What did I put in there? I put a little lemon pepper and onion salt. And then I put, instead of regular vinegar, I put honey ginger vinegar from my favorite vinegar place, New England Olive Oil Company. It's my favorite, and I order from them all the time. I can't say enough about these great places. Like, look, I nobody pays me to do this. I advertise people that I love and places that I love, because I think that those good people should be shouted out. Okay, now what we have for dessert? Because after all, we are on the keto, but guess what? We can have cantaloupe. Not a lot of it. We can have that. Oh, Kathy Roy Spees, my boss at the Male Performing Arts Center, best boss ever, says that looks delicious. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Okay, Mandar, thank God you are writing all of this down. So that is what we're having. Now, I do want to remind you, that's a section of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Of course, I have merchandise. I know that was your next question, right? So, yes. And I put the Venmo up there if you want to Venmo us and tell us what you want for merchandise, and I will send it to you. So we have the tote bags. These tote bags are $10, and that's What's Story with Maria. And on the back, go ahead, keep eating. They're really nice and big. They're light and washable, which is wonderful. That's what we need these days. We need to be able to throw things in the wash, and it's also good for the environment because there's no plastic. Then I have the mug, of course. What's the Story with Maria mug? What does it say on the back? Go ahead, keep eating. So those are our mugs, and then our piece de resistance, as we've always said. This outsells everything. So those are both 10. This is 25 because, of course, there's more detail and more material, and they cost more. So Go Ahead, Keep Eating is on your blue apron, because blue is our color that we're focusing on this year, are we not? Okay, so those are the things. You got your Venmo up there. If you want merchandise, please let me know. Just reach me, and you can do that, or I'll give you my PayPal if you'd rather do PayPal. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. So let me read. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left. So let me see what people have written and what's happening here. So thank you, Mandar Chick Magnet, for writing all that down. Mandar is the keeper of my recipes. Oh my goodness, look, it's George Hernandez. You had me at ketchup with truffle oil. Exactly. That was exactly my reaction. Now, I love ketchup anyway. I'm one of those people. I love, like, all that stuff. Steak sauce. I'm like, you know why I love that stuff? Because as Italian kids, and I don't know if the other Italian kids remember this, Rena, you will, our parents didn't like us to use American condiments. It was an insult to your mother's cooking. That's what my dad told me. So we had to sneak that stuff. We just sneak American condiments. So, like, you wouldn't put ketchup on your steak or in front of your dad. You would do it if your dad left the table. Sorry, Dad, but you couldn't do that stuff. So I always loved that stuff. But this is a whole different thing. So Trader Joe's, and it's a little jar, actually. It's not like a ketchup bottle. It's a little jar, and it's got an Italian flag on it, which caught my attention. And so they're actually like tomatoes from Italy. Ketchup is made in Italy, and then there's truffle oil in it. Are you kidding me with this? So I put that in instead of barbecue sauce, but I only put a little bit, but it goes a long way because it's different than American ketchup. It's not just like loaded with sugar and garbage. It's really good. So that's what I would say. And the thing about like I said, I've been on the keto diet, and thank God it's worked. I've lost about, 7 pounds now of the 18 that I gained back after I lost the 30. Do you see where this is going? It's not about the weight with me. It's about fitting into my clothes. So now, because I went a little crazy during the pandemic, as I'm sure you guys did too. I also thank you, Jay. Jay says, sounds good. And Jay's our nutritionist. Actually, Jay, maybe towards the end of the summer, we'll have to have you come back and talk about nutrition. And because I am also going to have Dr. Jackie come back on and talk about all the new great things she's doing, Dr. Jackie Giuliani. Lynn Portis' daughter. Yes, speaking of Lynn Portis, yes, we did. Thank you, Annette Zito. Annette of Kitchenette has said, that's great. If I get Annette's stamp of approval, all is well in the world. Okay, so a lot of people are slowly but surely going back to work. I know a lot of places like Massachusetts, they're starting to reopen. New York is in phase 2, which is great. So there's a lot of bars that have, and restaurants that have outdoor seating. Please go and support those places because a lot of them are hanging on by a thread. So, and also you can take out. If you don't want to, or you don't have time to sit out, well, on your way home from work or on your way home from visiting your friends or taking your kids somewhere, call your favorite restaurant, order and take out. They will be so grateful. And bars too, like our favorite bars, all the piano bars are, they're closed, but I think a lot of them, I know the Duplex and Stonewall, and I don't know about Brandy's. I have to talk to Jim. They may have a little bit where I'm going to find out about that. Maybe I have to have Jim call in soon. But any place that you see that you love, and don't congregate outside and make it hard for them because you don't want to jeopardize their liquor licenses. Either sit at the table or get your to-go drink and keep moving. That is the trick. Just keep it moving. So, let's continue to support our wonderful friends that work so hard to keep these places open and those waiters and waitresses that are back at work, as all of us hope to be very soon when they start opening up more and more and more. Let me see. There's these little things popping up on my screen. Okay. So, Rena, yes, to get into my pants. That's it. That is my goal in life. It is not, I never, ever have to be skinny. I just refuse. It's my trick to go up a pant size. And I have said that before. And I think a lot of my friends have shared that they do the same thing. So, I want you guys to also please keep in touch with me. Go and like our Facebook page, please. What's the Story with Maria Facebook page. And please go and like our Instagram page. And follow us on YouTube. Now, what Leo does, which is amazing, I miss you, Leo, so very much. But he is amazing. He continues to do these great things. How much time we got, Jimmy?
A minute.
A minute. Thank you, sir. Okay, so follow us on YouTube. Leo's got all our shows archived on YouTube. What's the Story with Maria Page? Thank you, Jim Bell. He is our producer and engineer, an amazing guy, and he gets us on every week. This is Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. This is Facebook Live. We're here Tuesdays from 9 to 10. We love and appreciate you. You have no idea how much. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you.
User left your channel.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Channel switched. It's who I am.